When the power grid dies, the clock starts. But the most dangerous countdown isn't for food, and it isn't for freezing temperatures. It is for water. Most people don't understand the physics of modern plumbing. Municipal water towers are essentially giant gravity-fed water batteries. Massive underground electric pumps push the water up into the towers, and gravity pushes it down into your sink. When a blackout hits a major city, those electric pumps grind to a halt. Within 12 to 24 hours, the city literally drains the battery. You turn the faucet, the pipes sputter, cough a little brown rust, and then nothing. The illusion of civilization just evaporated. And worse, when the water pressure in those massive underground city mains drops to zero, the pipes create a vacuum, sucking contaminated groundwater and raw sewage directly back into the municipal supply. In a grid-down scenario, you aren't going to die of thirst first. You are going to die of disease. When the water stops flowing, the toilets stop flushing. Within 72 hours, a modern city of 1 million people transforms into a biological hazard zone. Without sanitation, raw waste backs up. Waterborne pathogens spread with terrifying speed. The lethal irony of cholera and dysentery is that they kill you by turning your own body against you, causing explosive fluid loss that turns minor dehydration into a fatal event within hours. And when the water stops, a secondary invisible threat invades your home: sewer gas. Look under your sink. That curved U-shaped pipe is called a P-trap. Its only job is to hold a small pool of water, which creates an airtight seal between your home and the city sewer lines. When the water is shut off and the air in your house is dry, that water evaporates within a few days. The seal breaks. The city's sewer system is a massive subterranean lung filled with methane and highly toxic hydrogen sulfide. Without the water seal, those gases rise directly into your kitchen and bathrooms. It can cause severe respiratory distress, and in high concentrations, it is explosive. The moment the taps run dry, you must plug every drain in your house with a rubber stopper or duct tape. You need clean water immediately, but your first instinct is probably a mistake. Every basic survival guide tells you, if a storm is coming, fill your bathtub. This is the bathtub hazard. Unless you meticulously scrubbed that tub with bleach and sealed it with a heavy food-grade plastic liner before filling it, you did not create a reservoir. You created a massive petri dish. A standard bathtub is coated in microscopic soap scum, body oils, and ambient bathroom bacteria. Exposed to open air and room temperature, that 50 gallons of stagnant water undergoes a violent bacterial bloom within 48 hours. If you drink it straight, you are rolling the dice with your life. That tub water is strictly for hygiene and manual toilet flushing. But there is a hidden, perfectly sealed vault of pure water already inside your house. You just have to know how to break into it. Your water heater is a 40 to 50 gallon reinforced steel tank of heavily filtered, safe drinking water. But if you walk down to the basement and just open the drain valve at the bottom, nothing will come out. The tank is an airtight system. It is locked in a physical vacuum. To get that water, you have to use physics. First, shut off the cold water intake valve at the top of the heater. This isolates your tank so contaminated municipal water can't flow in. Next, turn off the power breaker or the gas supply to the tank. This is critical. If the power comes back on while the tank is empty, the heating element will instantly incinerate itself, or the gas could cause an explosion. Now to break the vacuum. Go to the highest floor in your house and turn on a hot water faucet. This allows air to rush down into the pipes, breaking the physical seal. Finally, go back to the basement, hook a short hose to the spigot at the bottom of the heater, and open the valve. Be warned, the first gallon that comes out will look like toxic brown sludge. Do not panic. This is just heavy calcium and iron sediment that naturally settles at the bottom of the tank. Catch it in a bucket, let the sediment settle, or toss it. After a minute, the water will run crystal clear. You now have 40 gallons of life-saving pressurized water. You also have an additional 2 to 3 gallons sitting in the upper tank of your toilets. Not the bowl, the upper tank. As long as you don't use chemical drop-in cleaners, that water is perfectly potable. But this supply puts you on a strict biological countdown. Which brings us to the hydration math and the digestion trap. The human body requires an absolute minimum of 1 gallon of water per day for baseline metabolic function. If you are sweating or working, you need 2. But here is the fatal mistake most people make. They start eating their emergency dry food. If you are rationing water, you must stop eating dry carbohydrates and proteins like survival rice, beans, and beef jerky. Your body requires massive amounts of water to break down and digest complex foods. If you eat a pound of dry rice while dehydrated, your stomach will literally pull fluid from your bloodstream, your kidneys, and your brain to process it. Eating dry food when water is scarce will accelerate dehydration and kill you faster. When your 40-gallon vault runs dry, you have to start scavenging. You will look for water in rain barrels, melted snow, or abandoned office water coolers. Do not tap into commercial fire sprinkler systems. That water has been sitting in black iron pipes for years and is highly toxic. But in an urban disaster, you cannot trust any surface water. If you don't have the fuel to boil it, you have to use chemistry. But before you use chemistry, you must use physical filtration. If you pull cloudy, muddy water from a creek or a puddle, you can't just chemically treat it. The organic matter, the dirt, and the microscopic debris will bind to the chemicals and neutralize them before they can kill the bacteria. You need to build a DIY charcoal matrix. Take a 2-liter plastic bottle and cut off the bottom. Turn it upside down so the neck points down. Stuff the neck with tightly packed cloth or cotton. Above that, pour a layer of clean sand. But the most critical layer goes above the sand, crushed charcoal. You can pull this straight from a dead campfire. Charcoal is pure carbon. Under a microscope, carbon is incredibly porous. As the water slowly drips through, the carbon acts as a chemical sponge, physically trapping heavy metals, pesticides, and toxins that boiling in bleach cannot remove. Add a top layer of gravel to catch the large debris. Pour your dirty water through this matrix. It will drip out slow, but it will drip out clear. Once the water is physically clear, you must execute the bacteria. You have to use the bleach math. Boiling is a luxury of the energy-rich. Chemical execution is the reality of the wasteland. You need plain, liquid, unscented household bleach. Do not use splashless formulas, floral scents, or color-safe additives. Those contain industrial surfactants that will poison you. You need pure 5 to 6% sodium hypochlorite. The math is non-negotiable. If the filtered water is completely clear, add exactly 8 drops of bleach per gallon. If the water is still slightly cloudy despite your filter, double the dose, 16 drops per gallon. Stir it, and this is the most critical part. Wait exactly 30 minutes. The chemical reaction takes time to tear apart the cell walls of the bacteria. If you drink it too soon, the pathogens survive and the clock resets. After 30 minutes, open the container and smell it. The water should have a faint chlorine odor. If it doesn't, the bleach was neutralized by the remaining contaminants. Repeat the dose and wait another 15 minutes. It won't taste like a mountain spring. It will taste like a public swimming pool, but it will keep you alive. In a grid-down world, water isn't a right. It is a highly volatile resource that requires strict logistics, biological discipline, and cold, hard chemistry to manage. Plug the P-traps, break the vacuum, build the matrix, do the math.